Lexi White is an actor of stage and screen who has performed with Molly Ringwald in the Lifetime movie Wishin' and Hopin', and with Sean Ryan Fox in the film Christmas All Over Again. White has performed on stage in Lion King, Peter Pan, and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Lexi White is a singer whose song Hurricane was produced by Robbie Rosen from Season 10 American Idol. Lexi White is 12 years old and is starring in the landmark community theater production of The Diary of Anne Frank in Thomaston, Connecticut. So I hope you enjoy the chat with Lexi White in today's Nutmeg Chatter. Welcome back to the Nutmeg Chatter. I'm J. Timothy Quirk, and today's guest is Lexi White, an actress, a singer, a performer who is 12 years old from Connecticut. Lexi, welcome to Nutmeg Chatter.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to share with the audience that I enjoyed the amazing production in Thomaston of Diary of Anne Frank. It was an incredible performance, and after that, that's when I asked if you'd be so kind as to come here to WAPJ Torrington Community Radio to be with us here at Nutmeg Chatter and talk to us about your art and the things that interest you and what got you involved in theater. So I wanted to just tell the audience that this is an amazing show, and you did an incredible job in
Thank
the
you.
performance. One of the things that was great about that performance was how natural you were in that role. And could you tell me a little bit about what resonated with you with that particular role?
Well, mostly because Anne Frank is around my age, and just thinking about how much she's been put through at such a young age, and how she has dealt with it in such a great way. And I kind of look up to her in a way because she was so positive about everything, and she always looked at the positive side of things, and that's kind of how I hope to be as I grow older.
Do you feel that that's how you are now, or is it something that you are continuing to evolve through?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a little bit, but I mean, everyone has their doubts at some point, so.
Well, I can tell you that the director, Lucia Dressel, said that you were very much like Anne Frank. You bring a lovely part to it because she states, quote, because Lexi is very sweet and lively, very intelligent and sassy, the same way that Anne was. So it seems to me that there was a very relatable part, and a lot of it was what you brought to the role.
Yes.
Now, what interested you in acting, and how old were you when you first decided that acting was something you wanted to do?
Well, I was kind of born into the business in a way because my parents met on Law and Order. My dad was an assistant director and my mom was an actress on it. And so because of that, I think I kind of got into it a little bit. But then when I was 10 years old, I got the part of Geraldine in Lifetime's movie Wishin' and Hopin'. And then that was like my first real audition and my first big part. So I was really excited for that. And then I landed that part, and then everything just went uphill from there.
For those who haven't been part of an audition type process for a motion picture, what is that like?
Well, when you walk in, sometimes I get butterflies because you're thinking, are they going to like me, or how's this going to turn out? Am I going to get the part? What happens if I get the part? All those things. And I think that's pretty typical for anyone that goes into an audition for anything, really, whether it's for a play, a musical, a TV show, a movie, whatever it is.
Now, was there anything that you had prepared you for that particular event to go in and audition before these people for a particular role that you wanted? Was there anything in your life that prepared you for that?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I kind of just got the script. I started reading it. My dad was like, "Wow, you should audition." And I was like, "All right." So I auditioned, and then a couple months later, got the part. Went to Norwich, Connecticut to film it, and then boom, it all happened. So
Wow. Now, did you enjoy the process of filming a movie?
Yes, I loved it because I was with such amazing people. Everyone was so talented and so amazing, and being with all those big Hollywood stars was pretty cool. I mean, I was only 10 years old at the time, and I didn't really know who Molly Ringwald was, but I heard of the Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and all that stuff. And then I was like, that's Molly Ringwald. My mom was like, yeah. And then I was like, whoa. So I was like, wow, she's pretty big.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that you got an acting bug after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I just wanted to pursue it because then after I got that fall and the rest of that year because I shot that movie in the summer. So then when that fall came, that's when I did my first musical. So that was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And then I don't know, I just fell in love with that whole field and that business and I just wanted to keep doing it.
Now, you like musicals, and you are a singer. I mentioned in the intro that one of your songs was produced by a season 10 American Idol, Robbie Rosen.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about the music side of your interest a little bit later on in the show. But I'd like to kind of stick with kind of an acting idea because that's one of the parts of your talents that you do. You you acted with in Wishin' and Hopin' with Molly Ringwald.
Yes.
What was it like to act with Molly Ringwald? Because you had scenes with Molly
Yeah,
Ringwald, correct?
she is so talented. I was like blown away. I was like, wow. I was like in awe. And I lived in a hotel with her for like a month over that summer. And it was such a great experience. And especially with being everyone there, being with everyone, it was great.
That's amazing. And so, and then you got a part on stage. What was that like for you?
I thought it was completely different because, I mean, I did theater when I was a little younger. I did Beauty and the Beast, and I was Chip. I was like 5 years old. And um, I haven't done that in a while. So then when I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and then when I did Wishin' and Hopin', it was completely different. I mean, like, the people were nice in both fields and both activities, but I thought that the processes were completely different because with a movie, you spend like 10 to like 12 hours on a set, and then with theater, you have like, I don't know, like 3 hours of rehearsals, and it's pretty cool. And it's not like with a movie, you don't like go to rehearse with everyone there and like the crew and everything for like every day of the week, where theater is like that, but I like both of them and how they diverse from each other. I really like that.
That's good. Now with stage, obviously, as opposed to screen, uh, you have the opportunity of performing it live. So therefore, it's not like you have a second take of
Yes.
something. So that's a very different acting muscle, if you will,
Yeah.
as opposed to, I guess, on screen where you can, you can have a second take or a third take or a fourth take or a fifth take, depending on whatever the actor is looking for, and some director is looking for. And sometimes that director might be specifically saying, now try it like this. Now try it
Yes.
like this. So that way, at the end, they've got a number of, I guess, paints that they can then put on the canvas, if you will, of their particular art, if you will, and say, okay, well, we're going to try it with this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, which is there anything that you like one better than the other, or is it liking two distinct things?
Um, I like both of them equally, mostly because it's both doing what I love to do, and that's why I like doing both of these things, because I love to perform on stage live in front of people, because I get to look at the audience and see their reactions, and to me, it's really mesmerizing seeing a play or a musical when you're on stage, because it's live, and like, if you make a mistake, like, there's no redo, and it's so cool seeing everyone doing everything so distinctly and perfectly and not making any mistakes. And even if someone makes a mistake on stage, the audience wouldn't know.
Well, tell you what we're going to do is we're going to see how an actor such as yourself, such as Lexi White, prepares for a role either on stage or on screen in just a few moments. When we come back right now, we're going to take a quick break. from Nutmeg Chatter. We'll be back in just a few moments here on WAPJ.
Separate souls in harmony. I feel your air when you breathe.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Chatter. I'm J. Timothy Quirk here in the studio at WAPJ in Torrington, Connecticut. My guest is Lexi White. Lexi White is 12 years old. She is an actor who has performed on stage and screen. We've talked about the different roles and the different methods of and skill sets that are used in stage and on screen, and we talked about what you like from both. How do you prepare as an actor for a role on stage?
On stage, I usually look up the play or the musical, and I usually watch it like 5 times. And I try to memorize, like if it's a musical, I try to learn the songs beforehand, so then it's easier when you're in rehearsals. And then with a play, I just watch that over and over again on YouTube and stuff.
Nice. And when you prepared for The Diary of Anne Frank, did you do anything special for that?
Well, I read her diary a few years beforehand, and so when I heard that it was the Diary of Anne Frank, I was like, "Oh, I know a little bit about her," because I read a little bit of it because I was only in like third grade when I read it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, "Wow, all right. Well, that sounds exciting. I didn't really understand how big this was going to become because now I'm on the radio with you and doing all these cool things with like the newspaper and different radios. And I think it's amazing how I thought that it was like, it wasn't going to be this big outcome. I thought it was just going to be, oh, a production, I have my friends come and see it. But it's so much more than that. And it's a true story of triumph and um, showing her story is pretty amazing.
Yes, and one thing to note for the listeners who may decide to go to the production, there is a museum aspect to this particular, um, uh, performance, I guess, in Thomaston, because it's my understanding that there is a partnership with the Anne Frank Center for Mutual Respect, and there's an exhibit that's there in Thomaston in the Thomaston Opera House. Now, the Thomaston Opera House is a very historic building. I mean, from it that has such a storied past, and this particular production that you were doing is now a part of that history. So I think if you think of it in that particular context, you can see how it's generated such an interest. First of all, it's a very powerful story, a powerful performance, and then there is the partnership that people can actually learn more about Anne Frank and the situation that occurred there, the very serious story that I think that this production really holds true to. Right. And so that's why it's as you mentioned, there's the radio and newspaper articles about it because it is now a part of this vast history of the Thomaston Opera House.
Yes.
Now, have you taken any acting classes? Does somebody such as yourself learn acting through classes, or is it natural?
I haven't taken any classes. I guess it does just come natural, and I'm really thankful that I can share with everyone who has seen me in whether it's a movie or a show on stage that I get to share my talent with them.
Well, I think you mentioned, acting is in your blood, if you will, the familial blood there. So you had the ability, I guess, a natural ability to act, and then other performances are very genuine. Now, what would you say is the most challenging role that you've ever had to act in?
Probably Anne Frank
Sure.
because like she's a real person. Like it's different if it's like The Lion King or that because those are like fictional characters. I mean, with Anne Frank, this actually happened to her. And that's why I think I was so mesmerized when I got the part because she's a real person and sharing her amazing story is pretty great.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think it's a testament to the production and to the director and the cast and crew who strive to make sure that they get the story right and that they do it justice. I think that's kind of the that there's nobody is taking this story lightly. They are taking it seriously, and they although they bring humor to it, and you certainly do, because I think one of the powerful things about the story is that Anne Frank has that vibrancy and that can't be bottled up inside that inside the attic. That she exudes this vibrancy and joy of life, and that's what makes in part what makes the story so powerful. And but everyone takes that's involved in this production, from the cast, crew, the people, Barbara Fisk, who does the costuming, are all taking it very seriously to make sure that they get it right.
And it's so easy to portray the story so well because with everyone in the cast, like everyone is so amazing. Um, there's this one part that my father has this really nice monologue. He does it amazingly, and I was so wowed because we were doing a table read one time for one of our first rehearsals, and he did that, and wow, I got the chills. I was tearing up because of how well he was acting when he said that. I was in awe, and I was like, you know what? I want to be really good like Johnny, Johnny
That's
Rivicki.
Johnny Rivicki, who portrays Otto Frank, your father in the particular production, and also the your mother in the production, Edith Frank, is performed by Suzanne Powers. Excellent actors in their own right, and so it was a real treat to be able to watch that performance.
Thank you.
Now, another one of your interests, and you mentioned, we mentioned that already, that you do musicals, that you like to sing. How old were you when you decided that singing was something that was of interest to you?
Well, I've been kind of wanting to sing throughout my whole life as long as I could sing. But I think I really started wanting to get into it after I started getting into the whole acting thing, because I thought that those two kind of tied together. So if you could act and sing at the same time, I thought, wow, that's awesome. And so I tried really hard that I really wanted to amaze people and I really wanted to have people be like, wow.
Well, if you want to be amazed as well, people can find your song "Hurricane" on YouTube. Correct?
Yes.
What is you tell me the YouTube channel that one can find your music at?
The YouTube channel is Lexi White Live, and it's all mushed together. There's no spaces. It's just Lexi White Live. And then, if you look that up, then my YouTube videos will be there. There'll be my channel with my headshot as a profile picture. It's pretty cool.
So if somebody goes to YouTube and then types in Lexi White Live, like I just did, you'll find your music video, Hurricane. It's performed by you. The song was written by you and Robbie Rosen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, how did that evolve? How did this particular song evolve and come to be?
So my mom was at an award ceremony for her friend Ed Asner, and so Robbie Rosen was there, and so Robbie was singing for one of the acts. I don't know what it was because I wasn't there, but he was singing there, and then him and my mom started talking, and then she's like, "You're so amazing. You should meet my daughter," or something like that. I don't know what she said, but she said something similar to that. And then they talked about me, and then he saw one of the videos of me singing, which is actually on YouTube. I'm in a green and black dress in that video. I sang Only Hope, and he was like, wow, okay, she's good. So then we Skyped one time, and then we started working on some song ideas, and then we started writing the song, and we wrote it within like 4 hours. It was so awesome.
Well, as we take our second break before we conclude our conversation with Lexi White, we're going to just hear a little bit of Hurricane by Lexi White and Robbie Rosen. We'll be back just a few moments on Nutmeg Chatter.
But the storm rolls in and you disappear. So what am I to do with these bitter tears? Waves crash, no chance. looking like the end ain't far. Tell me how I live. I wish you'd circle back to my arms, but it's moving fast, clouds pass. Someone's messing with my head. I'm going insane, in chain, fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Save my soul, keep me alive.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Chatter. I'm J. Timothy Quirk. We just heard a little bit of Hurricane by Lexi White and Robbie Rosen. Robbie Rosen was on season 10 of American Idol. Lexi White is starring currently in The Diary of Anne Frank, which is being performed by the Landmark Community Theater in Thomaston, Connecticut at the historic Thomaston Opera House. Now, tell me, you described how you worked with Robbie Rosen on the writing of this particular song. Had you written lyrics before?
When I was younger, I tried venturing out. I remember when I was in like 4th grade, during that summer, I started writing different like poems, and then I tried singing them. I don't think they turned out that great, but I think that because I was practicing that and doing poetry, and I really like doing writing in school, I always try to do my best with that. And I think because I have those abilities as well with writing and portraying feelings and different things like that, I think that that's easier when I want to write a song. So
Certainly. Okay, so poetry is another, I guess, quiver in the arsenal, if you will, you have in terms of the talents of Lexi White. Would that be correct?
I guess so. Yes.
Now, what inspires you about writing a particular song? And is this something that you would like to continue and write more songs?
Definitely. I really love sharing my love for music with everyone who has watched my music video or has bought my song on iTunes. I really like sharing my passion.
Oh, I could imagine that as well, that the song is not only on YouTube, but is also on iTunes and wherever music is sold digitally. Now, in terms of the song itself, Robbie Rosen, did you collaborate on the music itself or the words or both, or how did it
Both.
work?
He did the piano and all the instrumental behind it, but we worked on the music together as well, and the lyrics to the song, and he's amazing. It was such an honor to work with him because it's the Robbie Rosen from season 10 American Idol.
Absolutely. And do you play any musical instruments currently, or is there any particular music instrument that you think you're going to gravitate towards as you continue your music portion of your career?
Well, I kind of wanted to play the guitar or the piano, but now I'm just thinking, I think I just want to play my vocals, if you will.
Absolutely, vocals is as a vocalist, that's the key instrument there for you for your music career. So that's fantastic. Are there any other musicals that you are looking towards playing? Is there any particular role that you'd like to perform in from a musical perspective in the future?
I don't really care what kind of musical it is or what musical it is. I just want to perform, and that's what I love to do. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because I love to act and I love to sing. And if you put them both together, it just makes everything better and more enjoyment,
Very
more
nice.
enjoyable.
Very nice. And now, is in just jumping back just for the non-stage musical portion, are you going to be working on any other new songs in this year?
Hopefully, I might be doing one over the summer, and during the spring, I might be going to record that, but I'm not sure yet because I want to get through The Diary of Anne Frank first, because this is my top priority.
Absolutely. Do you think that's an important thing, to focus on the one task at hand? I think focus is important for an artist.
Yes, I think that it's very important to focus on one project at a time, because if you're overwhelmed with so many things, I think that'll be even harder to memorize everything, especially like if you have a big part. and memorizing all those lines. And if you're in a musical and you have a big part, all those songs and all those lyrics.
Absolutely. So it's great that you are focusing right now on the task at hand. After that, then you'll be exploring other ideas, is what I understand.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, what are some of the lessons learned in your, uh, you know, burgeoning career as a singer, as an actor? Are there any lessons learned or any recommendations that you would have for others who wish to do the same things that you do?
Definitely never to give up. I mean, I've learned to be very perseverant throughout this process, and growing up in this business, in this field, I've learned that um, giving up won't get you anywhere. You have to be very consistent, and I think loving what you do makes everything more joyful, and it makes everything better, and you just want to keep doing it. And being and loving what you do is what wants to make you go further.
Absolutely. That's great advice. No matter what type of goal that you set for yourself, if you love what you do and you are perseverant in that, you are setting yourself up for success. And there's always no guarantee of success, but setting yourself up for success is a very key component of that. That's what I hear from you, Lexi.
Yes.
Very sage advice here, and I think it's wonderful to be able to talk to you today, to be able to uh, you know explore your interests and the interests of a very talented young person, a very talented person, no matter what the age, I should say. And I think that's fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing the other great things that you do in your career.
Thank you.
And now I'd like for us to come out and listen just a little bit more to Hurricane by Lexi White and Robbie Rosen here on WAPJ, Torrington Community Radio.
Waves crash, no chance. Looking like the end ain't far. Tell me how I live. I wish you'd circle back to my arms. But it's moving fast, clouds pass. Someone's messing with my head. I'm going insane, in chain. Fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Fooled by the eye of the hurricane. Sing a song to me, promise you I'm listening.
That was Hurricane by Lexi, just a snippet of Hurricane by Lexi White and Robbie Rosen, which you can find on YouTube. You can also find it on iTunes and wherever music is sold. Now, Lexi, as we wrap up our conversation here on Nutmeg Chatter, where can people find you if they wish to do so to explore your work? Would that be the YouTube channel?
Yes. I mean, I have one of my reels, and that's like a reel is when you have little snippets of parts in a movie or TV show that you did. So
Sure.
you have your dialogue or a part that you have in that. So I have my reel on my YouTube channel, and hopefully I'm going to have another song on my YouTube channel with the music video.
Well, I look forward to seeing the work that you do in the future. I think it's a fantastic testament to your focus as an artist that you're able to create the art that you do, whether that art happens to be on stage or on screen or through song. So
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure to speak with you today here on the Nutmeg Chatter program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lexi White, Connecticut. Nutmeg Chatter is a production of WAPJ. Some music has been provided by the Jingle Punks, courtesy of YouTube royalty-free music, so we thank you for that. We've also played some of Hurricane by Lexi White and Robbie Rosen, with permission. Stay tuned. At 4 o'clock, there is the Hotspot with Darcy, so please stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening to Nutmeg Chatter. I'm J. Timothy Quirk. Thank you for listening.